How do I stay updated with rapid technological advancements? Right? This is something which is a common question that comes to a lot of mid-career professionals, especially, right? Because we know if we are in the IT world, the technology is advancing at a very rapid speed. But how do I stay updated with this rapid technological advancements is one question that comes commonly to mid-career professionals. And before I get into the how do you do that? Let me share with you a story. Right, this is the story of Arvind, who is a mid-career IT professional. Right, Arvind started his career in the year 2000. Right, early 2000 is when Arvind started his career in IT world. And Arvind was a great student, and he got a job in a very good company, right? One of the top IT companies in the world, like the IT companies in which, especially in the networking segment, this was one of the top companies, a dream company for people, right? So that's where Arvind started his career in the IT world with some great salary, great package, and he was super happy. His life was going smooth. He was making good money. He was in his dream career, like he was in his dream job, and travel, the other facilities like medical, everything was provided to him. So it was a very comfortable life. Arvind was leading a happy and a comfortable life. And as everyone does, after a certain point of time, Arvind got married, right? And now Arvind had a more happier life because he was married. And after a year or so, he also became a father. So now, beautiful life Arvind is leading, where he's happy, like he has his own family, he's earning good. Everything was going good for Arvind until a point came when his company started to struggle. Now, this was during 2015 or so, right? And there was a change that was happening in the technology. Like, always technology is changing. And in this technology, whatever he was working for, he was working on the networking technology, the computer networking technology. There was a change happening, there was a shift happening in the technology where people were moving from hardware to software, right? People were no more like sitting and configuring the big routers and the switches and the firewalls. There was a lot of shift happening. Rather than routers and switches and in terms of hardware troubleshooting, configuring, there was the new thing that was coming, like software as a service, right? Virtual networks, a lot of things were changing, right? And some of the smaller organizations were growing fast and competing the bigger organizations. Now Arvind's company was also struggling during that phase, and the struggle was so much that they were not able to make some good profits there, right? They were selling products, they were selling services, but they were not really able to make good in terms of the revenue. So company was not doing good financially. Now what did company decide here? The company decided that they will start acquiring some of the software companies which can help them grow, right? The solutions, the services that they can integrate. And while they were doing this, they also announced in the organization that there is going to be a shift in the way they are going to do things so that the organization can move forward. And initially, they gave some soft messages to the organization and to the employees that we want you to upgrade your skills, right? And some people took it as a warning and they started upgrading the skills. But Arvind was comfortable, and he was not only ignorant but also arrogant, because with 15 plus years of experience in the industry, Arvind was saying, I know this technology well, I know tools well, I know this well, right? Nobody will throw me out, because he was one of the OGs. He was one of the one who started in the organization from the beginning, right? And he said, my organization is not going to let me go. And then exactly that happened. What happened? Exactly the reverse happened. The organization fired him. Now, let me ask you all, when the organization fired Arvind, in this scenario, if you see it as an outsider, whose mistake do you think this is? The organization's mistake, which is firing people like Arvind, right? Or the boss mistakes, Arvind's boss mistake, who has fired Arvind, right? Because there is no more, that role is not relevant, that technology is not relevant, right? Or Arvind's mistake because he did not update or upgrade himself to stay relevant to the industry. I know you all know the answer, right? It is the ownership of the person, of the employee, to upgrade and update himself in the fast moving industry so that you can catch up in the industry. Think of it, the organization is moving fast, or the organization is doing a transition, organization is shifting from one technology to the other, and you are not ready, right? You are not adaptable, you are not agile to do that. So what happens? Organization has to leave you, right? Because you are the one who is sinking the boat, right? So you will have to be like thrown out of the boat so the organization can move forward, so the organization or the boat can move forward, right? This is what happened not only with Arvind, but hundreds of professionals in that organization. And that's when I realized so important it is to stay updated in the technology. And I was always like somebody who was like a continuous learner and updating things, but I saw a lot of people losing their jobs during that time. And I know I still see a lot of corporate professionals losing the jobs without understanding why they are losing that job. So it's very important to stay updated with the rapid technological advancement, especially when you are in your mid careers. And if you're coming from the IT world, it's important for you to understand the technology and advance. But how do you do that, right? Is there a structural approach which you can follow? Are there any steps you can follow so that you can stay updated all the time and stay relevant with the rapid technological advancements, right? The answer is, my dear friends, yes, there is a way where you can stay updated, right? And there are 7 steps I'm going to share with you. Using these steps, you can stay relevant, and you can not only like sustain in the organization, you can grow in any organization, you can grow in the industry, and you can build a dream life through your dream career, having an amazing career and life for yourself, right? So let's deep dive into the 7 steps. Step number 1. What is step number 1? Step number 1 is build a growth mindset. Now we all need to understand this. Even before skills comes the mindset. In the example of Arvind, why did Arvind lose his job? Because of the mindset. Like, if somebody is not adaptable, not agile, where does that come from? Right? It comes from mindset. If you don't have a growth mindset, right? If you are not ready to adapt with the technology changes or any change that is happening in the industry, right? What will happen? Then your ego will come in, right? Your arrogance will come in, and that will not help you grow. But if you are like somebody with a growth mindset, oh, there are challenges, I'll take it as opportunities, right? Organization is shifting in certain direction. There must be some reason why they are doing that. Let me understand. Let me become aware of what is happening in the organization, what's happening in this technology, what's happening in this domain, so that I stay relevant and I can contribute to the organization, right? So when you are having that growth mindset, when you build that growth mindset, only then you can grow. Because with fixed mindset, you can never grow in your life. If you have a fixed mindset, okay, no, I'm not going to update myself, hey, no, like whatever I'm doing, this is the best thing. If you have a fixed mindset that I'm not going to learn from others, if you have a fixed mindset that I cannot take feedback from others, right? So all these things comes from fixed mindset. So the number one thing, or the step one, or the important criteria, which is like the foundation, is to build a growth mindset. Because only when you have the growth mindset, then you can grow in your career, right? So that's step number 1. So what is step number 2? Step number 2 is identify the core areas. Now, there might be multiple things that are happening in the technology. One of the things that people do as a mistake is, this is something that I also used to do, and my mentor, I remember, he gave me this term called as learning junkie. What is it? Learning junkie, where you are just learning, jumping from one branch to the other, learning this, learning that. And I was also doing this, sometimes learning networking, sometimes learning like something around coding, sometimes learning cloud, sometimes learning artificial intelligence. What is that? You have become a learning junkie, which is just enjoying learning from one branch. You're jumping from one branch to other, learning, one branch to other, learning. Right? What happens when you do this is you just stay at the surface level, right? You don't learn technology in deep, and you don't know what is your core focus area. So you have to identify the core areas that you want to work on, right? And just focus on those areas so that you can build those skills. For example, like if you are in the architect, right? If you are a solution architect in the cloud domain, you have to learn things relevant to that, rather than you look at, hey, somebody is doing certain other coding or some other technology, or somebody is doing business analytics, and business analytics is growing amazingly. Somebody is doing digital marketing, oh, that's growing amazingly. Or somebody is doing some other kind of coding or programming, right, or restructuring. No, identify your core area. If you are working to become a great solution architect and want to develop your career around that, or if you are into that, you have to focus on your core area. If your core area is going to be into people management, for example, program management, then your core area can be like project management, program management, risk management, right? How do you develop project charters? How do you engage stakeholders? How do you bring new clients? How do you actually like handle teams and be able to deliver projects? So you focus only on your core area than looking at multiple areas. Don't become a learning junkie. Become a focused learner on only the core things that are needed for you, right? So that's step number 2, by identifying the core areas. Step number 3, create a learning development plan, right? A lot of people don't do this, right? They don't create a learning development plan, randomly learning things. Like corporate companies give access to Udemy, Coursera. They just go get into that, oh, unlimited courses for free. Whatever is free, like you search for some course, or if it shows up some course on top of it, you just start learning it, right? Because what has happened is you have not created a learning development plan for yourself, right? Create a learning development plan. Like, for example, you are a solution architect. Again, like if you take that example, how do I become a great solution architect, right? What is the roadmap? What are the things that I need to learn? So create a learning development plan, and in which quarter what am I going to learn, right? So put a plan around that. This quarter, first quarter, my theme is like I want to understand the core IT infrastructure technologies, right? The next quarter I'm going to understand more about cloud. The next quarter I'm going to understand more about artificial intelligence, right? The next quarter I'm going to understand more about, as a solution architect, how do I handle multiple clients, stakeholders, right? So have those core areas, right? And then plan, have a learning development plan, so that your learning is structured. See, anything that you do structured is going to help you. Anything you do with a plan will help you. No plan, no results. Because you do random things, you will not get results just by doing random things. You might get result once, you might win once, but you cannot consistently win, my dear friend. So you need to have a learning development plan. That's step number 3. What is step number 4? Step number 4 is attend workshops and conferences. See, as a technology guy or as a mid-career professional, your learning cannot happen only at home. Your learning cannot happen in that 3 by 3 cabin, whatever it is, right? Your learning cannot happen only there. Your learning cannot happen only through books. Your learning has to happen outside. When you step out, your learning will happen there, where you are attending workshops, right? And then you are actually going and knowing more about different things, right? There are a lot of tech summits that happen. There are a lot of conferences that might be happening in your domain or area. Go attend those. Understand what is happening right now, and you will be able to understand what is the future of this technology. Where are we moving ahead? Like in the next 5 years, how this technology is going to evolve. What are the new things that are going to come? These conferences, workshops will equip you with all the tools and technologies that you need to understand. So you need to go ahead and then attend these workshops and conferences. And my dear friends, one of the requests that I want to make to you all is, do not wait for company to sponsor, right? This is a very funny thing which I recently witnessed. I was attending this Zoho event, right, where Zoho conducted an amazing event to explain about how Zoho CRM, how Zoho platform can help a lot of technology companies, right? I was attending this event to more understand about Zoho and the features and all of this that can help in my business as well. And during lunch, I met two people there, right? You know what they were talking to each other, right? Unknown people, they just met there, they became friends. What they were talking to each other is, hey, who sponsored this event to you? And this girl asked the guy, who sponsored this event to you? And he said, oh, my company sponsored this event to me, and I have got a sponsored seat, so I'm very happy. This is a sponsored seat. And this guy now asked the lady, right, hey, what about you? She said, no, I paid for this event. But you know what interesting thing? I can get it reimbursed from my company. And my dear friends, how much was the amount there? 999 rupees, 999, less than 1,000 rupees for 2 days of event with lunch, high tea, and everything. Now think of it, as a mid-career professional, if you're not even ready to invest some money in your own development and you're waiting for company's money, what kind of mindset is that? Do you think that mindset will help you grow? That's why I said foundation is the growth mindset. But here, attending the events also do not depend for company to sponsor, your bosses to sponsor. You can sponsor your own self, because that's for your growth, right? This is one of the mistakes I see a lot of corporate professionals doing, especially when you are mid-career professional. Don't do this mistake. Sponsor yourself for the workshops, events, go there, learn there, because this can take you to the very next level. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is create a positive learning atmosphere around yourself, right? Connect with people, network with people who are having aspirations, who are having big dreams, who want to stay motivated, who want to move forward in their life. Do not connect with losers. Do not connect with people who don't have big dreams, right? As I say, right, do not become a mediocre boss, right, and then connect with other mediocre bosses. See, one of the reason you might be a mediocre boss, or you might have seen people around you as mediocre bosses, is because the community or the people that they are staying with are all mediocre bosses, and that makes them one more mediocre boss. But if you want to become a legendary leader, you need to be with leaders, because when you are with leaders, you think like leaders, right? So it's very important for you to create a very positive environment. I still remember one of the companies, I was given promotion but I quit, because I saw the environment was so horrible in that company, that once you are promoted, once you are a leader, all those so-called leaders were so pathetic. I realized I don't want to be in this space. And that's when, even after getting the promotion, I had to quit that job and move out. So do not stay in the community of energy drainers, of negative people, of mediocre people, because mediocre people will not help you grow. Stay in the community of positive people. So connect with positive people, connect with highly energetic people, connect with people who have big dreams, so that they can become accountable to you. You can become accountable to them. You can help each other to grow, right? So that's a very important thing, because your environment will make you the person who you are going to become. Because right now, who you are is your environment, and the person who you are going to become is also your environment. So please choose your environment wisely and stay with highly committed people who have big dreams, right? So that's step number 5. Now coming to step number 6, seek feedback. Feedback is the most powerful tool that anybody can have in their life, and especially in career. If you don't take feedback, if you don't seek feedback from whom? Seek feedback from your subordinates. If you are a mid-career professional, I'm sure you would you would be handling a team of 5, 10, 15, 20 members. Talk to them, seek feedback, check with them. Hey, what do you like about me? What do you think I can improve? Talk to them, understand this, so that you can improvise. And then also talk to your peers, people at your own level, so that you know how they are looking at you and what you can improvise, right? And also ask feedback, seek feedback from people above you, your bosses, or people at the higher level who can see, because you need to reach there. So you need to take feedback from all those kind of people, so that they can see from the higher level, or what you are not doing that you are supposed to do, or you are like expected to do, so that you can go to the next level. So always seek feedback, because feedback is the most powerful tool that can help you. Again, one thing to be cautious: when you are seeking feedback, do not seek feedback from the wrong people, right? Because when you seek feedback from the wrong people, you need to also know who are the smart people. And of course, you might be seeking feedback from a lot of people, but you can filter the feedback. Because think of it, I see a lot of people making this mistake, right? I want to do an MBA. Whom are you asking, right? Either a person who has never done MBA, or a person who has done MBA but failed badly. Is that the right person? Right? No, think of it, right? And do not seek feedback from the wrong people. And when you seek feedback, please filter the feedback and use the feedback in the right way, so that it can become the tool for you to grow. And step number 7 and the last step, right, is find a mentor. See, you will be doing mistakes because you don't know a lot of things, right? Because see, the path that you want to travel is a new path for you, becoming a legendary leader, right? But what if somebody has already walked the path? What if somebody already like had multiple failures, had success, right, and has been able to not only help himself but a lot of other people? Find that kind of a mentor who can actually help you to have that step by step process that you can follow, who can help you to avoid a lot of mistakes in your life, who can help you to get that speed. Because my dear friends, speed is the key, right? Think of it now. If you are somebody who is like already somebody who's qualified to become a leader, right? Like for example, you are a manager, you are waiting to become a senior manager or a director or a CIO or somebody for past 5 years. How much is the cost of ignorance? 5 years. The kind of money you would have made and the kind of money you're making. Like, for example, today you might be making 30 lakhs. But you know, if you would have got to that position, you would be making about 1 CR, 1 crore. Because in IT, 1 crore is not a big deal. Let's agree to that, right? So when you are able to make that 1 crore, but you are making 30 lakhs, the cost of ignorance you are making is 70 lakhs. Now, some people struggle and then they don't get to mentors because mentors charge money. Of course, they charge money, but it's not an expense, it's an investment you are making in yourself. Because if you are making a few lakhs investment in yourself to learn from a mentor and fast track your journey, where you can do that in the next 1 year or 6 months, how much are you saving there? Cost of ignorance 1 crore 30 lakhs, 70 lakhs, cost of ignorance. You're going to save that. So, how much is it when compared to the kind of investment or the money that you pay to the mentor? Right? So, please understand this calculation so that you can also grow fast in your life. So, seek a mentor. So, find a mentor. These are the 7 steps for you to actually go ahead and stay updated and build your dream career and dream life. So, what are the 7 steps? Let me remind you once again and summarize this for you. How do you stay motivated and updated with the technology advancements all the time? The 7 steps are: step number 1, build growth mindset. Step number 2, identify core areas. Step number 3 is create a learning development plan. Step number 4, attend workshops and conferences. Step number 5, create a positive learning atmosphere, right? Or a positive environment. Step number 6 is seek feedback. And step number 7 is find a mentor. And if you are able to identify these core areas, if you are able to dedicate time for learning, engage in communities, and implement the 7 steps that I have spoken, then let me tell you, you can always stay updated, not only updated, but relevant, and not only relevant, but you can accelerate your career growth and you can consistently grow in your career, and not at a speed, slow speed, right? Exponential growth is what you can expect if you are able to follow these steps, right? I hope this helps you. And if this has been helpful to you, follow me on social media and you can connect with me and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I talk all of these topics because I'm on a mission to transform mid-career professionals into legendary leaders and help them to create an impact in their industry, right? And if you find this helpful, do share with others so that others can also build their dream careers and become those legendary leaders. With that, thank you so much and have a wonderful time.